Recently, I've been getting more interested in writing, like articles, or I don't know, maybe if I write enough stuff down, I'll come up with a book or something. But I find it a good way to get feelings out, and I guess just something a little extra to do. But I wrote this tribute to the working class people of the world, the ones that run everything, truly make sure the world keeps going, not the guys in business suits yelling orders down. So yeah, I'm just gonna read this and we'll see how it goes from there. This is for the working class people of the world. I have a sincere admiration for the working class in my own country, the United States of America, and all of my family who are working class that I watched struggle to provide for their families, but did it honestly and honorably. But this really extends to the whole world, because I bet a lot of people can relate to this no matter where you are. The working class truly keeps the whole world running. I may seem to use male pronouns a lot in this for simplicity's sake, but I have met many females in working class roles who performed equally well. This is for men and women who are willing to do the tough, exhausting, sometimes dangerous jobs that no one else wants to do. Those who are expected to perform and satisfy at a high level, mostly without any thanks or recognition. This is for the farmer who wakes up before the sun and tends to his livestock and crops, sending food into his community and, by extension, the whole country when you consider all the farms together. He milks cows, shovels dung, and stays dirty all day, mocked by those who are more than willing to reap the benefits of his work. This is for the school teacher who cares enough about the future that they are willing to be underpaid so that they can teach the future generations. The school janitor who cleans up after messy kids, and the cafeteria workers who keep them fed. This is for the landscaping people who are sweating in the hot sun, cutting grass, trimming trees and bushes, and making places look beautiful, because most of us aren't willing to do it ourselves. Some simply aren't able to due to health factors, and this is not against you. This is for the auto mechanic who keeps your vehicle running, sometimes not being able to afford a good, dependable vehicle himself, going home in the evening to spend close to an hour scraping and washing the grease from your vehicle off of his hands and out of his fingernails, sometimes spending more time if he was exceptionally dirty that day, so that he can sit down and eat dinner with his family and figure out which bills he can afford to pay on time and which ones he will have to pay late due to financial constraints, while others complain about how much they had to pay for his labor. This is for the various construction workers, the concrete crew who buy work clothes at thrift stores because they constantly ruin outfits while making sure the foundation of your new house or business is sturdy, the brick masons who sweat and toil to make sure your new building looks attractive, the framers who endure painful wood splinters so that your building can take shape, the roofers who ensure the interior of your building is free from the elements of the outdoors, while most times enduring searing heat from the reflection of the sun off of roofing shingles, the plumber who gives us the clean running water and hot showers which not everyone in the world has access to, even in 2024, sadly, the electrician who makes sure that your home has modern comforts such as lighting, heating, and air, and by extension, those who have worked on larger projects in our power grid as a whole who have lost their lives due to the nature of electricity for the simple purpose of providing us with comfort. That may sound harsh, and I apologize sincerely if it is offensive, but we have survived thousands of years without electricity and central heat and air. Those guys up on the power lines and cell phone towers are one quick mistake away from death. This is for those who have worked at restaurants. Most of you are overworked, underpaid, left to fulfill the desires of those strangers who dine in, expecting absolute perfection, but no reward for a great performance, or sometimes even the ability to afford to eat at the very place you pour your sweat and tears into. Whether you're dealing with sometimes rude, entitled customers face to face, or spending your shift in an extremely hot kitchen. We as society will happily pay for the services provided while belittling those who come to satisfy our needs. This is for the firefighters who have seen and smelled burning things that they will never forget, their dreams being haunted forever by the faces of those they couldn't save, and I say this from past experience. The paramedics and nurses who tend to our loved ones while spending long, physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausting shifts being away from theirs. The police officers, sheriff's deputies, and state troopers we expect to always be on watch while we get to take time off, not considering that they would also like to enjoy life, but we still commit crimes against one another, so they are not afforded that opportunity because of our selfishness. The soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen who are expected to wage war against those that they have more in common with than the leaders on either side of the conflict. This is for the retail workers who customers vent their anger and frustration on for something they have no control over, who are expected to work times when most people would be off just in case someone happens to want to buy something. This is for the regular employees at the big tech platforms we all use. In the past, I did not consider technology as a working class role, but as time went on and I've seen how technology is as much involved in everything now as electricity is compared to when I was a little kid in the early 90s and it was still a niche thing, at least here in my area. And there's the usual divide between high-up executives and the people at the bottom that are expected to make it all work. I'm going to add it. Big tech companies get a lot of hate for the decisions and policies of their executives, and it's the regular employee that gets the worst of it. Spending hours searching through millions of lines of code, trying to find a bug so that your email, mobile apps, favorite video and music streaming sites, work and personal software or games will work as intended. The ones always on call watching security systems and coming up with patches so that your smartphone or computer isn't hacked, which could give access to all of your finances to someone you will never even know the name of. Sometimes if a data breach occurs at a company, it is because the IT team states what they need to be successful, but a higher up who often doesn't know about technology wants to cut costs and not provide the necessary resources, but will be more than happy to pin the blame on those who are asking for better solutions because they care about the customers while the executives are more worried about the money. When it comes to security, network speeds, etc., everyone wants the best but aren't willing to pay for it. A network administrator will be verbally abused up one side and down the other because the internet is running too slow, but it's often due to the fact that they are limited by their hardware and the person yelling at them is the one who denies their request to purchase better hardware for the company. This is for the postal workers and delivery service drivers such as UPS, FedEx, and DHL, who deliver our mail and packages in all weather conditions. The janitors anywhere who clean up our nasty filth that we leave for them because it's not my house, so who cares? The garbage truck driver who is up early every day to handle someone else's trash, and those who sort through it by hand to pull out recyclables so we can try to do something small to benefit the environment. This recognition is for all of you. Overworked and underpaid. This is the anthem of the working class everywhere. You handle all the inconveniences of life to give the powers that be the best life experience possible. One group of working class people that are really dealing with the worst are the poor employees of Foxconn. I say this as someone who lives in a society that benefits from the exploited labor of other nations, and I hate it. They are a Taiwanese electronics company who makes many things, including the iPhone, which many people use. Not me though, I'm an Android guy. On mobile, and I use Linux and Windows on the desktop. I have a lot of things against Apple for philosophical and technological reasons, but it's enough to probably make a separate video on. I'm not going to read them all here. But the iPhone, and I know people say, it's better, you computer and technology nerd. I don't know why it is, but it's just truly better. Anyways, the iPhone is manufactured at facilities where people work long, stressful hours, are sometimes beaten by security guards, have suffered food poisoning eating company-provided food, have nets installed at some facilities to catch people who try to jump off the building to end themselves. And this is from the Foxconn Wikipedia article. This isn't stuff I'm just making up. So that Apple can pay about $464 for the iPhone 14 Pro Max to turn around and sell it for $1,100. Sadly, many other corporations also take advantage of these types of places so they can continue stoking the fires of Western consumerism. But who pays the highest cost? The working class. You make the world turn. Your contributions to everything do not go unnoticed by me and most normal people. Although I don't know if I can be classified as normal. I'm sorry if this sounds like a boomer rant. I'm only 35, but I've seen my local area and the world overall change so much in my lifetime. Whatever you do for a living, if you're earning an honest living, do your job well and take pride in it, then hold your head high. You are part of the foundation of modern society. May we never forget those who are at the bottom and their contributions. To whom much is given, much is required. If you're able to, don't ever be afraid to help someone in need who is struggling and doing the right things, but it still isn't enough. Some people don't understand the value of things that they may not need, such as a food bank or pantry. They've sure helped me a lot, and I want to return the favor when I'm able to. We live in an age where very many working people are struggling because wages never seem to increase when the cost of living does, while our country's biggest decision makers are telling us we are in the best economy we've ever seen. Although inflation and our national deficit are at an all-time high, and the prices of everything we purchase keep going up. How does that work? Anyways, that's all I got so far. It's still a work in progress, but I don't know. It could be many more pages, or I could just cut it off here. To paraphrase a famous Beyonce song, who run the world? Workers. That's not the actual lyrics. Like I said, I'm paraphrasing, but that's all I have right now for that little writing project. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. Today is Saturday. It's been cold and rainy, so can't really do much outside, but you can look at the outside through the window, so it's about as fun as it gets. So y'all have a good one, and I'll see you on the next video.